Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nela and I teach creative people how to sell their art online, and I'm back home. We are back home, as you might have noticed by yesterday's video when we did a short review over awkward styles, t-shirts and off-the-shoulder boat line sweatshirt, and that video was meant to be filmed while we are still in Skopje. We were supposed to be in Skopje from May 2nd till May 11th, and we kind of cut this trip short. And the reason why I'm doing this video about our time in Skopje, it's not a traditional, it's not a travel vlog. I'm not going to give you guys touristic information about Skopje that much, but I did want to show you guys how to print on demand on vacation, generally my productivity on this little trip, why we went, and I hope that some of the things that I have to share with you guys that we did while being in Skopje could also be things that you could see yourself doing when you go to a different city in your country, when you're lightly traveling, and sort of a way to get inspired or how to use your time or just enjoy the video, because I thought it was pretty funny, a lot of the things we did in Skopje. I kind of written everything down, even though it was a bit hard to constantly write everything down, what we're doing when, what time did I film what video, because there was a lot of video footage involved in this video, not just me talking to you, and I hope that you guys have fun. So I want to just get started with a bit of a back information, because I know that a lot of people don't understand, like, how can we just go to Skopje? And a lot of people also don't understand why would we do any kind of work while we're on vacation. So I just want to clarify one thing. First of all, my native birth country is Israel, and I've been living in Bulgaria for the past year. I'm a resident of Bulgaria using my Portuguese passport, and I've been working remotely, which means working online, since pretty much 2015. So I didn't really have to work from a specific location. So I spent some months in Bucharest, whether it was in 2016, 2017, or in 2020. I spent a lot of time in Thailand, mainly in Bangkok, one of my favorite places in the world, and also worked from other places because, you know, pretty much all I need is Wi-Fi. And there are a lot of people who do that, whether they are working for a company or are self-employed fully. So Misha was a freelancer working for a company, which means that he had to sort of obey by their work week and their schedule, which was not travel oriented as much, because you work basically weekdays during the week and you have a time where you need to be online. And now he doesn't have a fixed project with a fixed company. He's working on his own thing. So we thought to ourselves that now would be a really nice time to explore. We are currently in Bansko, Bulgaria, which is pretty much an hour drive from a city called Blagoevgrad, which is really close to the border with Macedonia. I think that over and all, coming from Bansko to Skopje, Macedonia is pretty much, I think, like 3.5, 4-hour drive. Depends, of course, you know, who's driving, how fast you're driving, and how many stops do you do on the way. So for us, it was kind of like, you know what, let's just go. We could have also gone to Greece. Greece is actually really close. You can pretty much go to the Greece border in Koulata in like an hour from here. But one of my closest friends is in Macedonia at the moment, and I haven't seen her since September, October, so I kind of missed her, and that pushed it into priority. So we found this really cool apartment, which is called Music Box Jazz Edition. I think I shared some photos with you guys. I was super excited. It has a telescope. It has like surround system. It looks really, really stylish. And we were really happy with that apartment and booked it from May 2nd to May 11th. And now let's get to the chronological stage of things by starting with Monday, May 2nd. So on May 2nd, I woke up, as usual, a lot before Misha does, and I was really thinking I could squeeze in some work before we actually go to our trip. I've already recorded the Teespring video with Youtuber Karin Prater on Saturday, as well as the video about the Awkward Styles wall art review with artist Christy O'Connor on Sunday. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wake up and I'm going to do all that work before Misha wakes up, before we hit the road. The thing is, I also ordered, again, puzzles from ThisNew. So ThisNew was one of the first suppliers, I think it was the first supplier that I spoke to about in this channel, the one that I did an official collaboration with, and there was a puzzle there, and I kind of wanted to see my illustration, this one, or this one, on a puzzle, and just for fun. So I ordered the 500-piece puzzle from ThisNew. It arrived, and we actually started it on Sunday. And I really wanted to work on Monday morning before we leave, but I ended up just being completely obsessed with finishing the puzzle. I remember I was like looking at him when he woke up, and I was like, I'm not gonna go anywhere until we finish that puzzle. I'm gonna dream about that puzzle when we're abroad if I don't finish this. I actually didn't finish it. There were like a few pieces remaining, and we finished it when we got home, but pretty much all I did in that morning was answer some YouTube comments and finish that puzzle. Again, this is a print-on-demand puzzle by a company called ThisNew. There will be a link to the puzzle down below if you guys want to check them out. I love the quality. The box is there might be a really good chance that this will be the company that I move forward with if I want to put it on my Etsy store, because as of now I really like my Zazzle puzzles, I really like my Society 6 puzzles, but obviously you cannot integrate them, so I might be using that supplier instead. Then we started our road trip. We packed a lot more food than we actually gonna eat. We had an amazing drive there. I mean, the view here is absolutely stunning, and as the seasons are changing and everything is becoming more and more green, it was a really beautiful experience. We even stopped at some random place right before the border to have some breakfast and check out the view, and even make some videos for his YouTube channel, for a different one that I'm doing, and just, scenery photos with some birds in the background. It was really, really nice. The first plan that we had was we're gonna get into Macedonia, where our SIM cards don't work because it's outside of the European Union, and we're gonna immediately find a SIM card. And the thing is, we found a SIM card at some shop, at some city, I don't know where, because we had no GPS and no nothing. And it turns out that they sold us SIM cards that didn't really work. Like, we paid for it, we put it in our phone, we did the manual switching network, but there was nothing on it other than getting a lot of text messages in Macedonian, which we could not translate because we don't have internet. We ended up keep on driving and driving and driving, and rain started to fall, and we found ourselves in a gas station right outside of Skopje, having no idea how to get to our apartment, no way to contact the Airbnb host to let him know when we're coming. And we found a guy who's willing to help us. Well, it's actually really easy to find people to help you in Skopje. Everybody's really nice. He basically told us that in order to activate the phone, like the SIM card, we have to send an SMS to the company with our Macedonian ID number. So the person who sold us, flat out as tourists, these SIM cards actually sold us SIM cards that cannot be used by tourists, so we pretty much had no data. We ended up trying to find our way, like that same Macedonian person also hotspotted me so I can connect to Airbnb and to jumpstart our GPS, and we found ourselves going from one cafe to another in Skopje, trying to find the cafe where the Airbnb host was sitting because it's closer to the building, because it was really hard to find the building. We ended up entering the apartment and immediately going to the Macedonian police, because you have to declare yourself that you have arrived and sign off on where you are staying. If you're going to a hotel or a guest house, they're pretty much going to do this for you, and it's done online. But if you're staying at individual people, this has to be done manually. Then we got to the apartment. For those of you who don't know, I'm severely allergic to washing machine detergents and softeners. And even though we brought our own towels, our own sheets, our own everything, the entire bedroom, like the entire bed itself, the walls were just sprayed with softener. So instead of having a gorgeous 2-bedroom apartment with a huge living room and a balcony, we pretty much summed ourselves down to a studio, but that's fine. We've lived in a studio before, so we're really comfortable with each other. But it did put a damper on the fact that I wanted to wake up really early in the mornings to work while he's sleeping, which was less of an option. I think that all in all, May 2nd was my least productive day in a while. And I remember when we wanted to go to sleep, we connected the TV, like the living room TV, to my computer. And that was like the first time I touched my computer that day, which was kind of fantastic. Misha also has a field mattress in his van because his van is a full camper. So we were actually sleeping on the floor in the living room the entire time. Not that I'm complaining about that to the Airbnb host. Obviously, it's a weird allergy and it's really hard to entertain. But, that was the reality of our vacation, and Misha took it like a champ. I honestly don't think he cared because, there was a big screen TV and he likes sleeping on that mattress. For me, it was a bit harder. But all in all, you know, he kept me on feeling really good about this and the entire experience. I did no video editing, I did nothing. My friend Khofit, which is the good friend that I came to see, showed up at our apartment, spent some time with us, and then we sort of walked her home and walked back through a gas station to get some, I don't know, some snacks because we didn't really have anything with us and pretty much everything was closed. And that's because even restaurants that were downstairs, apparently celebrating the 1st of May as the Labor Day or something like that, but they didn't want to celebrate it on a Sunday. So they celebrated it the next day. So it will be a day off. So everything was kind of closed. And that's how our first day ended, with pretty much nothing done. On May 3rd, which is our second date there, obviously the weather is playing a big difference in our vacation. It was supposed to be rainy the entire time. It was really foggy in the morning, like crazy fog on Tuesday morning. And I did a kind of a lot of work because I sat down, Misha was still sleeping. I did 2 hours straight up on Procreate and just doing new brushes and new pattern brushes and new patterns and new designs. I was just like, just working on Procreate for 2 hours without even lifting my head, sitting in the balcony, smoking, drinking my coffee and working on Procreate. Thank God coffee was in the apartment when we got there, because I wouldn't have not survived without coffee. And I also thought to do a bit of what I want to do with my print on demand, because like I'm really split with my print on demand in terms of what to do on what days, because honestly, I really have a lot going on with print on demand and I want to do things correctly and I don't want to let things slide. So I sort of sat down and started writing like the things that I have in my arsenal or whatever I'm doing. So I have Society 6, which is currently my liquid art, but also some patterns that I actually made for Zazzle wrapping paper. And I also have Zazzle, which has a wrapping paper shop with a lot of patterns that I made for it and actually uploaded to Size 6, but forgot to upload it to Zazzle. I have the other shop for jigsaw puzzles that I want to promote, and I'm really not sure what to do with it. I actually test ordered wrapping paper and tissue paper and something else that I forgot. Oh, a journal book into Bansko to check it out. So I feel like I need that final approval of getting these products and seeing that they're good to fully like invest myself in these products. With imprint, I wrote down like, you know, it's my acrylic art, which takes me a lot of time to do, and I keep changing styles. It's like every morning I wake up and I take a different Skillshare class, so it kind of keeps away from me. I also signed up for KDP. What am I going to do with that? I don't know. It's just a big question mark around the word KDP. I also have TeePublic with cool text and clip art designs that I also started a Pinterest account for. And I was also thinking of doing like stationery pages on Zazzle that are kind of like weekly planners or monthly planners, because I think that would be really good. Also gratitude planners. And that really relates to a different topic that I have, a different YouTube channel that I'm starting with art meditation and everything to do with art therapy and relaxation with watercolors and with mandalas. Obviously, that is a separate project. I'm not going to be discussing that a lot here, but if that project is going to basically grab on as its own business and also support my print on demand, obviously I'm going to share with you guys the lessons from it because it's a wonderful way to promote your print on demand. I was also fully thinking about Jigsaw, Miss Jigsaw, which is the website that I actually bought the domain and started working on a million times, which is going to be promoting my Zazzle puzzle and my Society 6 puzzles, as well as my Puzzle Lover merch on TeePublic, sort of a way to put it all together. I also have a domain made just for wrapping paper, so I do need to start jumping on that, as well as, you know, that would be also for Society 6 and also for Zazzle. So for me, it's basically finding those two products, both on Zazzle and on Society 6, that go along together to promote them into other websites. And that's a lot of work. And then I also have the Meia Arroyo, which I already have an Instagram for. I'm not really doing anything with. And I was really thinking, you know, am I supposed to put it on my TeePublic? Am I supposed to do it with imprint? And I just wrote literally down at the bottom, I don't know. This was pretty much what I did in the morning of Tuesday. That was our second date there, like our first full day. But we woke up and we were like, okay, we don't have any money. Like, we don't have Macedonian money. We literally had like 4 currencies each. None of them is Macedonian. Like, I don't know why. We both have like Serbian currency, euros, Bulgarian lev. I have shekels on me. So we decided to just walk to the area of the main square in Skopje, where we will take out money from the way. We actually thought to exchange, but at the end of the day, we just went to an ATM and took out some money. There are actually many places to pay with credit card in Skopje, so that wasn't really an issue. And our plan was to go take out money get an actual SIM card that's going to work for us as tourists, and then reach out to my friend who's also going to be in the square, the main square, and she's going to show us around. I was kind of on inspiration seeking mode, and I think that this is where it gets interesting, because this is something that I really like to do when I'm in a new place, especially with a new culture. And I did a lot in Bulgaria when I came here. It's like I basically walked, and like you see a shop that sells sheets and towels and pillows, and you just film the type of patterns that they have, not just to copy things one by one, but to get inspired from them and to get to know a little bit more of a design style. And there's actually a lot of things to pop into your head or to pop into your eyes when you're walking through the streets of Skopje. There was this one bakery that basically said baking bread instead of breaking bad, which I thought was hilarious. Obviously, I'm not going to do print on demand with it because it's completely copyright, but it was kind of funny for me. But the thing that drew my attention the most was this amazing graffiti all over the city. Like the entire way to the main square on the main road was filled with graffiti, whether it was like a person with bubble gums or a kiss, or like it really just art pops at you from every corner, which was amazing for me to see and super inspiring. And I took photos of everything. Then we arrived to the main square, got actual SIM cards that could work, had some breakfast, and texted my friend Hofit to come and get us. And we were walking through main square, and I do have to say, there are so many statues in Skopje that it's insane. The entire city is statues relating to nothing. Like there was this full square that had like, I think it was a mother fountain because it had like a pregnant woman and a statue of a woman breastfeeding. And another statue and another statue and another statue. And to cross the river that runs through Skopje, there are actually like 4 different bridges. All of them are different architecturally, which was kind of weird. So we were walking around there, just soaking it in, even soaking in some of the other things that, like, you literally have art coming to you in any corner when you go through Skopje. And not to mention a lot of pirate ships. I don't know if they're supposed to be restaurants or something, but I do remember one of them that had these like huge planter pots from the outside of it, like on the actual marina or whatever, that were all like patterns on them and like paintings on them, which was insane to me. And then we did one of the things that I really like to do whenever I reach a new city, which is to go to an office supply store or an art store. So we went to something, I think it was like office, I don't know, office something inside the main square, where I was looking at all the wallets and all their water bottles and looking at all the amazing different types of stationery that they have there, as well as actually getting some watercolors that I wanted for this trip to continue painting while we're abroad. I didn't take anything from home. And this was one of my favorite spots in Skopje. I know this sounds maybe dumb to people, like you went all the way to a different country and what you like is an art store, but hey, I'm crazy. We decided to split from Hofit, who had to do some work herself, and we carried on going basically back home, but passing through a fresh market along the way to buy fresh produce, because I do like to cook at home even though we're on vacation. We found the most amazing tomatoes, amazing eggs. We kind of wanted to buy from everyone in the market, but there was like one person that was really nice, so we kind of bought everything from him. And then we stopped for some ayran on the way, which is sort of, I don't know if you guys have been to Bulgaria or to Skopje or any of the Balkans. It's sort of like a yogurt drink, which I am obsessed with, having been in Bulgaria for a year. We pretty much got home, and at that point, I immediately fell asleep from pain. We have been walking for 6 kilometers, and the previous day we've been in the car for hours, and previously to that, almost the entire winter, I was barely walking. I think we walked during the time we were in Skopje more than 2-3 months that I was here. And with fibromyalgia, I don't know if people know this, but it's like your muscles get atrophy so much faster. You can be in bed for 2 days, and when you get up, you feel like you have been in bed for 6 months. And your muscles are exhausted. And I know that also people say, you know, you need to walk and, you know, carry it on and your body will remember. And because I grew up as an athlete, I do have really good muscle memory. So when I do start to walk, I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm able to deal with fibro, is because my muscles remember. But when it gets to the point where it's painful, the fibromyalgia remembers the pain. So even now that we're back, every time I try to walk a few centimeters, I feel like I've been walking for 6 kilometers. I have the same exact feeling just coming up to me. So I don't know if it was good or not, but it was definitely a change. I was pretty much down for that day. Like, it was really, really hard for me. So we decided to just check out if there's a restaurant downstairs. There was one restaurant that we actually searched for the owner of the apartment in the day before, which was a seafood place. So we went downstairs to that, and comes the second big problem of my trip, which I'm allergic to olive oil, which is pretty much my biggest problem anywhere in the world, but especially in Skopje, since they even do French fries deep fried in olive oil. But we talked to the staff, and they understood the problem. It doesn't actually happen in a lot of places. In a lot of places, they just tell you, yeah, everything's fine. And we could pretty much order everything that doesn't have a sauce and that could be grilled. So we could choose any fish and grill it. They also had a dish called boiled potato, which is actually literally a boiled potato with boiled carrot and some onion, as well as Skopje salad, which is with cheese and tomatoes. We just asked without olive oil, and any kind of fish on the menu. And then Misho completely fell in love with Skopsko beer. We actually brought some with us. And I remember we got this like gorgeous fish. And I remember telling him, baby, lift the plate, like lift the fish. And I literally mean like lift the plate a little bit so I can take a photo of you with the plate. And he ended up just grabbing the fish and lifting this. So I think this is pretty much one of my favorite photos from this entire trip. Misho lifting a fish. Maybe I should make a puzzle from man lifting fish. Tuesday evening was also Memorial Day Eve in Israel, which means that at 8 o'clock in Israel or 7 o'clock p.m. in Skopje, there will be a siren and starting Memorial Eve. So we went back up right before the siren. I connected to Israeli radio live to hear the siren with my people. And I honestly don't remember much about that evening. I didn't write anything. I wasn't working. I was just mostly sitting in the balcony crying. And it takes me hard every year, I guess. Being abroad is a bit harder, but yeah, it is what it is. May 4th, the next day, which is Wednesday. So that was actually supposed to be, again, this is literally Memorial Day, but I decided that I'm going to try and think about it as less as I can, because come on, I'm a veteran with PTSD. I think about Memorial Day every single day of the year. I woke up really early, super sad. I wanted to take some inspiration from yesterday, because I was like completely incapable of doing anything. So I basically started with a kiss graffiti, that kiss thing with the dots. And the thing is that what I'm trying to do is take something and then draw it in my style, in the style that I like, in the style that I've been practicing. And I think I did a pretty good job. I don't know, you guys can see it on the screen, so you guys can let me know. So I turned that kiss graffiti into a kiss, a digital one, and I didn't stop there, because I actually also made a pattern from that kiss. So that was the first initial step. I also did my own version of the bubblegum person, like the person that blows up the bubblegum. I did my own version of that in actually 2 different colors. And I don't know if you noticed, like the t-shirt of that person has plates on it. That's actually from a brush. So that was actually done like really fast, because I already have plaid pattern brushes that I did myself on PROCREATE. If you want me to do something with PROCREATE brushes for you guys, please let me know in the comment sections down below. And then my friend stopped by again, and then I discovered something interesting about my friend Hofit that I didn't know, which apparently she likes juggling with oranges. Like, she was like literally like, oh, oranges, and I'm like, since when does she like oranges? And she just like started juggling. So we made a reel from that. It was kind of funny. It was one of the reasons also why I wanted to go to Skopje specifically. As much as Misho is an amazing support, I felt like being with a friend from home that grew up with the tradition of Memorial Day and knows what it is was kind of important. So Hofit, if you're ever watching this, thank you, babe. Love you to death. And then we wanted to kind of do more stuff. I think that I was kind of in a weird mood. So we decided to go to the Old Bazaar, which is supposed to be like the Turkish area. So I was thinking, I have Turkish roots. That would be nice. We took a cab with Hofit. We dropped her off home, and then we continued on to the Old Bazaar, which was pretty much the most useless amount of, I don't know, a few minutes that we spent there. It was kind of boring. we really didn't find ourselves connecting to any of this. I kind of feel like, in a way, I wanted to take him to the Turkish bazaar to sort of save us from the need to go to Turkey. No, we're gonna need to go to Turkey. I was really tired, super uninspired, cranky, and we just went home. And then started what eventually cut our trip short because I tried showering. So the apartment has a tankless heater, which I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's pretty much whenever the water goes through it, it warms up. So I've had tankless heaters in Israel a million times, also in Thailand, and even in floors like 11 or 20. But when I went to shower, first of all, the shower handle was completely broken. Like it was mold from the inside and then completely out. So the water was just splashing everywhere, including from the actual faucet. And while you hold the actual handle, the water switched from hot to boiling to frozen every few seconds. I almost fell one time. I fell the next, and then I decided I'm not taking a shower like this, especially when you pretty much don't really have a shower handle and everything feels like it's coming from mold, and it's really disgusting. Misha was out taking a run. I texted the Airbnb owner that the shower handle is completely broken and there is no hot water like consistent. He replied with the fact that it's known to them that there is no hot water fully, like there is hot and cold, because it's a tankless heater and the pressure is low in that apartment, which is true. We did most of the dishes and the sink in the bathroom because there is no hot water in the actual sink in the kitchen, as well as almost no water pressure. And he said that it's going to take them up, like he doesn't even know if he's going to fix the handle by the time we're there. We were going to be there for another week. At that point, I lost it. I really wanted to shower. It was really hard. And I felt like I had the worst day in terms of productivity. We went out, we had some ice cream, we came home, I made some soup with fresh veggies we got them the next day, we watched Big Hero 6, and I went to sleep. Come up Thursday, May 5th, I woke up at 4 a.m., PROCREATE, and that's when I started doing the ice cream graffiti that I showed you as well in the photos. And again, taking that graffiti and making it ice cream in my style, and then looking at that ice cream, you know, made some background to it, played around with it, saved it in a couple of versions of saturation and colors, and then made a pattern from it, combining the dots that I kind of fell in love with the day before. So I do see a lot of more patterns that will be sort of an element that is like floating around on dots. I really got that dot thing from being there. And I decided at that point, because I was really judgmental about myself. Like, we have not been productive at all. Me, at least, I was not being productive at all. And I was like, I wanted to do that website. I wanted to upload to this. I wanted to do that. And then I decided that at that point, you know what? If I'm going to edit the video with Karin and the video with Christy, and anything else that I do other than that is just Procreate and not upload to anywhere, I'm good. If this is going to be some sort of an inspirational burst of a few days, I'm good. And, you know, so be it. We got breakfast, and then I revisited some of the other designs that I was inspired to do. So from that linen shop that had, you know, all that towels and bed sheets, as well as a pillow with owls, I took that sort of linen design that I caught a glimpse of, not actually made it obviously accurate at all, just sort of made some sort of a symmetrical pattern myself with it, not even in the same colors, as well as looking into the owls that were on the pillow and then just drawing them, not really in the same style, not really in the same shapes, but just getting inspired from them and making a new owl drawing. After that, I edited the video with Christy for Awkward Styles Wall Art and uploaded it onto YouTube. And then my friend came. We really wanted to go to the same seafood place, but they were drilling constantly. They were like renovating the place in the time of lunch. So we just went to a store, and then I discovered that Misha never had spaghettis and hot dogs in his life. So we came home and I made spaghettis with hot dogs and red sauce. and we just ate that. It was kind of nice. And then the Airbnb host texted me. He said that he found someone that can come and fix this on Friday noon, like to fix the entire shower, but it won't solve the problem of the hot and cold water, just the fact that it's splashing all the way around. I asked him if there will be any kind of materials involved, like chemicals, because I'm very sensitive. He said he will check, and then got back to me and said, no, there are no chemicals involved, but he won't come Friday. He will come Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. At that point, I told him, you know what? If the person can come Saturday noon, that will be nice, because we're gonna check out on Saturday. I'm done. I want to take a shower. I want to go home. And that was it. The decision was made to go home on Saturday. This was Thursday, so 2 more days to survive no shower. And of course, there was a live at 6 p.m. for me, 7 p.m. for you guys that day with Christy. And we had dinner, and we actually found this cool website for sounds called artlist.io that I think that I will start using, whether it's for these videos for this channel or whether it's for a different channel that I'm working on. I think that for me, finding that website on its own, and this comes to a discussion of what is considered to be productive, what is considered to be a good work day, because I have on the other channel that I want to build, on the other business that I want to build, I had a main issue with finding good, relaxing music that I can use on YouTube. And to me, having been able to just randomly, because we were just like reading some articles. There was an article from an Israeli newspaper website about how much influencers make. And then from that, it got to like a tool that they're using. And then we were looking at that tool for music, like that, basically like a sort of subscription. And for me, that moment of finding this was like 3 days of productivity just to find this, because I know that this tool is going to serve me for the next few years. So all in all, I felt like productivity was going my way again. Friday, the 6th of May, woke up early and in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. I was in the balcony crying from pain. I don't want to sound like mushy, but then I just started reading comments and replying, and you guys made me feel much better about myself, and it really distracted me from the pain. And that's when I went into Zazzle again and did some updates on some categories for my shop, and also started thinking about the full Zazzle series. There are also a lot of people that I follow online that have been doing stuff for Zazzle. I've been watching a lot of content on them just to have all the information when I go to explore the system by myself. We went to Vero, which is a very big supermarket chain there, which was kind of insane. Even the supermarkets, like the small one that we went to the day before, they have a lot of organic stuff, a lot of healthy food. We bought a lot of stuff that I wanted to take home as a souvenir, like more beer for us and Karin, and also some chia pudding. There was a bunch of like weird stuff there that I've never seen before. So there were so many, I don't know, stimulations like all over around you. And obviously, you know, I also filmed the wrapping paper because they had wrapping paper and puzzles. And I was like looking at the wrapping paper, and it literally drew my attention, because seriously, guys, think about it this way. On one hand, people go to websites online because they can't find what they find in the stores. But on the other hand, maybe they just are more comfortable buying this online, and your indication of what is trendy is what's in a store. So if you're in a store, just look what they're selling and try to get inspired from that and try to get ideas from that. I also had to do some housekeeping by renewing some domains, renewing some hosting plans, which was kind of an accounting morning for me. I think that every time I come to the point where I need to update a domain, I'm like, oh, that's a project that I forgot to do, that I didn't have time to do, that I really need to focus on myself. And it really, really pissed me off. And then Misha went to city center to do some of the day alone. Like, we knew that we're leaving the next day, and I really wanted him to have fun, you know, filming and walking around and getting inspired. And I feel like when he was with me, he couldn't really do that, because I had to stop every few minutes and cut every day short with my back. Oh, that's so cold now. That's just wrong. And I think then the weight of these days and Memorial Day again in my head and not being able to shower and just being frustrated. I'm sleeping on the floor. And again, this has nothing to do, like sleeping on the floor has nothing to do with the problem of Airbnb. It has to do with me having sensitivity to chemicals and something happened in the army. And everything just brings it back to you because you can't sleep in a bedroom because they're sprayed it with something that you became allergic to in the army. So you sleep on the floor, which is messing up your spine because you broke some of it in the army, some of it after that. And everything just flooded me. And I remember I was walking in the house like a mouse in a cage, just waiting for him to come home. And when he came home, there was a part where he went to do the dishes, which again is in the bathroom because we can really use the sink in the kitchen. And I just started hugging him and I was like, I can't. This was, I think that, fibromyalgia comes with depression. PTSD comes with depression. Breaking your coccyx bone comes with depression. And I feel like depression was always the one symptom that was least affecting me, especially when I had work, especially when I was able to do stuff. But at this point that day, I mean, I edited the video with Karin, I uploaded it, but I was, that was like one of the darkest days that I think I've had in the past few months, with just all the pressure. And it was really nice for me that he was understanding. I also think that it was also good for me because I had the pre-recorded footage with Karin, so I had something to do, I had something to edit, I had things to focus on. And then Khofit came by, which would be the last time we see her for this trip. And we finally found a place in our restaurant downstairs and had dinner there again with Khofit while being on live with you guys for the Teespring shop opening with Karin Prater. So this was a really nice thing. And I was gonna take some pills to go to sleep on our last night there because my body was completely drained, but I ended up just falling asleep without them. I woke up 5 times during the night and eventually woke up really, really early on Saturday. Really, really early. I was just like waking up, looking at him like 7 o'clock. Okay, let's go home. I want to go home. We went to the pastry shop downstairs to get our breakfast, some pastries, and I wanted to gather up some snacks for the road. We sat down and we actually did something that I don't know if anybody needs to do, but definitely I think couples who work from home together should, which is this. This is sort of a weekly plan of what we're going to do, because dividing the things that we work on, because we work on things together, and there are things that we work completely apart, and there are things that, like, for example, filming, he can't be in the house while I'm doing this. It's really hard. So we sort of divided our days into what we're doing on each day, what we're working on each day from all of us. And if this system is going to work for us, obviously also for me, I'm going to full on share like what we're doing. Also, we are working on different productivity tools to be shared lately. But I think that, again, this was one of these moments during the trip where we just sat down and spent 10, 20 minutes talking about something that I felt would be like a game changer for both of us. And then Misha went to the police station to check out both of us. It's really, I mean, come on, you guys have border police. Isn't that the job of it? And we got into the car and we drove off into the sunset. Well, not into the sunset. I mean, it was like 10:30, 11 in the morning. But we drove off, left Macedonia behind, had a really funny interaction at the border. Like on the Macedonian side, I thought they were going to check the van, customs, but all the customs officer wanted to do was show Misho photos on his phone because he has a camper van similar to this. And then we're coming to leave Macedonia. So the border officer is like, okay, so where were you guys were? Skopje. Did you like it? He kept on asking questions about it. And I was like, let us go. I want to go home. And on the Bulgarian side, border police was pretty much, nothing because I'm Bulgarian resident. And the custom officer was like, did you buy cigarettes? No. How many cigarettes did you buy? Nothing. Did you buy packets of cigarettes? No. I literally have the same tobacco. And he's like, it's written in Bulgarian. And I was like, yes, because I bought it in Bulgaria. And I remember they were asking, and Misha was like, I don't smoke. And they were like, really? They were doing the full inspection of the car while smoking in our van. So apparently that was a big surprise to them. But we drove home. We found some places to stop along the way to have some breakfast. We had a nice time, like, driving. Everything was green and blue and insane. For the first time in my life, we had to slow down because cows were crossing the road. And then we came home here, and I know that everybody told me that we had this like amazing view in Skopje, this like a real artistic experience. So I don't know what about you guys, but we came home, I opened the door to our smell. You know, I have incense in the house, I have fresheners like air, oil diffusers, all of our stuff. Turn on the boiler to have a hot shower, and ended up the day watching the sunset with the cows right there. So I think my view is pretty good. I don't know. What do you think, guys? All in all, this vacation that was cut short basically from, I don't know, from Monday to Saturday instead of from Monday till Wednesday of next, I don't think I would change anything. I had an amazing time seeing my friend again and exploring Skopje. I'm happy that Misha got to explore Skopje without me because I am slowing us down. I'm slower, so I'm happy that he's also has this like personality where he doesn't need me to be stuck on him all the time. I hope that you guys enjoyed this very long and boring video about our 5-6 days in Skopje, what we did there. And I do think that it's important wherever you go, you see something that looks good, take a photo. I'm not saying copy it, but make it your own, get inspired from it, even use it as color palette. I actually even did this little thing on Procreate where I took some photos of our building and the building next to us with Misha as well, and then made a color palette from that to make abstract illustration patterns. So I really hope that wherever you are in the world, and whether you're traveling or not, the next time you get outside of the house, take a camera, it's in your phone, take some photos, take some videos, be open to having inspiration. I used to do a lot of inspiration walks here before I was injured. I do see myself doing them again, and when I do that again, I will also film one of them and exactly share everything I do in my inspiration walks. But try to see these things. I mean, the minute I started designing wrapping paper for Zazzle and made a test order, it's like I see wrapping paper everywhere. Just keep in mind these things that you're doing, these things that you want, what is funny to you, what is beautiful to you, and try to find it in your everyday life. Just get inspired from anything. And if you are lacking inspiration, please consider Skopje as a place to get inspired because they have so many statues. It's insane. By the way, if you like this video and found this content useful in any way, please hit the like button down below because every time you do, it really does help my channel. And subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. I will be seeing you guys, I don't remember. I'll be seeing you guys on Wednesday, which is 2 days from now. I wrote down Society 6 shop reviews, but only like 2 people submitted also to Zazzle. So there are 2 posts in the community tab, one for Zazzle shop reviews, one for Society 6. Please comment on them if you have shops in either, so I'll make a shop review video on Wednesday. And on Thursday, I was either thinking to do some design tutorial, sort of mental niche design tutorial, because we are in mental health month, or something about can you really make a full-time living from print on demand, actually revealing some of the conversations that I've had with people that I met in the last year who do print on demand as their main business income. And let me know what you guys want. Design videos, more talking about print on demand as a business. I also wrote the entire grid for Zazzle, so that's coming up. And a lot more product reviews because I have so many products here in the house to review. Thank you so much for watching. It's been kind of nice sharing a travel vlog with you guys in a print on demand kind of way. I'm off to edit this video and then do so much work today, because even today I was just designing all morning, working. I did another Skillshare class. I need to really do a video on all the classes I take. Found a different design style, made a bunch of art for that and uploaded it, some of it to Zazzle. So I'm super psyched. I'm super happy to be home. The depression still kind of hurts, I guess, but it's getting better. I'm just really happy to be home. And with that being said, that was it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. And as usual, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!